So you've never heard of this game. I bet many of you are wrong in saying that you have never heard of this game. This is, in fact, the game from the back of the Jet Set Radio Future Instruction Manual, also known as, but perhaps not better known as, Panzer Dragoon Orta, a very, very sadly forgotten and neglected game that has been accepted wonderfully by critics and players alike. People actually know about the game. This is a very, very interesting rail shooter with a variety of very, very fun and interesting elements that I've kind of fallen in love with. Now, if you have no idea how this game works, I'm not going to have the time to explain how it works in the actual gameplay, so I have a little tutorial video that I'm going to let you guys see if you actually care to learn the game mechanics. Here. I should probably remember to link it here. And if you want to see that, go ahead. But if you've seen that or just don't care, let us go. For some reason, I want to show off the options too. Well, those don't have anything to show, so whatever. Instrument mode changes your HUD slightly. You can get rid of the HUD entirely if for some reason you want to do that and not be able to see your health or anything. There's also full mode, which shows you how many points you get for things and how many points you have at the present moment. Anyways, I'm going to be playing through the game on hard, because playing through this game on hard is fun. It's going to affect some of the strategies I have to take in some cases and kind of bug me, but oh well. This game, also say in advance, tends to have some graphical glitches on 360, and we may or may not see them in this playthrough. They're kind of rare, but I've seen a few. Not usually a problem though, usually just something looks kind of dumb for a few minutes. If you don't mind, I'll also talk over things because stuff isn't in English, so you're not missing out on much. And I'll have subtitles. Pay attention if you want to have any idea what's going on in the story though, because Panzer Dragoon series is well known among its fans for being very, very vague with its narration and, well, explanations in general. I'll help when I can. But for now, just soak in the little prologue, because all of these things are incredibly relevant to the plot. Probably should have explained already. This is a rail shooter, if you happen to know what that is. If not, well, you can watch the tutorial video. Otherwise, you can just be surprised and see now. Well, once these cutscenes end, of course. This game does something that I have said a few times I really like for some reason. Having a fictional language is spoken by other characters. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, but it's always fun. And it's cheaper too, because you only have to record all the lines once. But look at this, stuff is happening. Namely, Imperial stuff. I really see no reason not to just explain it now. These things right here are the dragon mirrors that were talked about earlier. I'm gonna have to make some decisions in regards to what to explain right off the bat and what not, because part of this game is just kind of figuring out what is and isn't stuff. At the same time, if you don't have an idea what's going on, it can be kind of frustrating, which I would completely understand. So, I want to help when I can without spoon-feeding things to the audience, I suppose one could say. So enjoy the beautiful pre-rendered cutscenes. This game is on the original Xbox, but aside from the pre-rendered cutscenes just looking nice, this game is adored for having some very, very nice visuals that could honestly even pass for an early 360 game. Once you get into actual gameplay. I question the structural integrity of this tower. Yeah, see, look at that, they just throw right through it. Soundtrack kind of kicks ass too. So that's let's jump into things, shall we? Rather swift. Yeah. So, there are only so many things I can explain there at the time to explain other things in the series. So, let's just go. Also, you have a gun now. People have made entire theories about where that gun came from. Also, you learned some names of people early through the subtitles, which is nice, I guess. But anyways. So, stuff to kill! I accidentally targeted a dragon there, too. I don't even know how I'm going to bother trying to commentate this game at the same time as doing stuff in it. I'm already messing up. Don't mess things up. Hopefully I won't crack under pressure either in regards to not sucking at the game. Because there's a lot of stuff that takes a lot of effort in this game and a lot of focus. I'm hopefully not going to botch. That's a green one! Yeah, there we go. So that green one I took out was a carrier, which you may have remembered mentioning in the tutorial. Should have taken these tanks out before I actually got here, or whatever. By the way, don't bother shooting the dragon mirrors if you don't have to, because they don't actually do anything in response to getting shot. Oh no, I missed one. Crap. I think. And it's not like I'm aiming for 100% accuracy in this game or anything, seriously. I am aiming for not getting hit a ton on the first level, though, so that's also probably satisfying. Hey, I am aiming for getting some gene bases, though, so that would be appreciated. Thank you. And we've already leveled up the base form. I find, oddly enough, that the first level is actually really friendly to using base form above anything else. For the most part, you'll see when I use other stuff later. But, for now, so you don't actually get to see as much variety as you might hope in the first level, but it's nice. Anybody? I try to get combos when I can of larger groups of enemies. Yay, I'll give that to heavy form. Just throw some stuff up earlier. But, things won't work out as they do. So, I do apologize in advance for this entire series if I happen to have a difficult time talking at some points. Nope, don't go down. If you're too down low right there, what end up happening, and what always happens to me, is that dragon that popped out below me, it always ends up ramming me. Also, this is the one part of the level I always consistently have trouble with. I still don't know what to do to just take out all these enemies. I never figure it out. Also, right here, that thing. If you shoot it, you actually get a very, very small amount of points for shooting these things, but that particular one just now shot gives you a gene base, so hooray. Fear though, but as I was saying, this game takes a lot of focus and effort in many ways. But, hi airship. I will do my best to provide good commentary, and I've been practicing these levels beforehand, along with having run through all of them multiple times already. So I hope I will have everything memorized well enough when I play through it to actually be able to talk while doing it. But there are also things I want to say about each level as I run through them that I won't necessarily have enough time to say anything about. Go away. Without your... Oh, you too. Without your darn missiles. Now, something I'm not sure if I mentioned about those dragon mirrors or not. Go away. Pop. Is that... while you can't actually hurt them or kill them by shooting them, you do fill up your berserk gauge in the bottom left by attacking them, which is quite nice. There are a couple things in this game where you don't actually have much of a reason to shoot something at all except for filling up your berserk gauge, which is cool, because shooting things fills up your berserk gauge is quite useful in some situations. As you can see, there are these things too. For some reason, you have to go all the way down to the corner to avoid these, and it looks like you probably go to the left or right just a little bit. So this is something that you need to not be tripped up by in the game too. Sometimes things will appear behind you and then fling ahead of you before you have the chance to actually hit them while they're behind you. But then you have things that happen like this right there, where it actually appears behind you and stays behind you. So you kind of need to memorize it a little bit. Playing this game based on action is entirely possible and fun in its own right, but I find the most fun in this game to be perfecting it as best you can. To be frank, I probably blew an S rank for this level already, but I have very, very high standards in this game. Now, remember what I was saying about not showing much diversity off between the different dragon forms in this level? It's time to change that. Oh, you're not going to see much of Glide, but you're not going to see much of Glide in this playthrough in general. So let's go to these things. Oh, see, but no, Glide right here. Ah! Except when Glide actually doesn't shoot all the bullets he needs to shoot. So yeah, I didn't get an S rank for damage this level at least, which bugs me. I'm really easily annoyed by taking damage in this game because I did an entire playthrough of the game where I had to take as few hits as possible to unlock something in particular. So I have very high standards for that. But oh well. Even getting an S rank sometimes won't satisfy me with how much damage I take. So I can be a bit unhealthy about my high standards in this game sometimes, but fret not. All shall be well eventually. And I'm not just trying to show off when I play this game. I want to show off the game itself. I just also want to not suck too much as to distract from the game while playing at the same time. Right. I find it's a lot easier to take out the missiles that this thing shoots. If you take them out, oh come on! One side at a time. Take out everything on the left, and then take out everything on the right. But, of course, it doesn't always work when you miss a stray bullet. Using heavy form can work for shooting down bullets, it's just kind of, you need to know what you're doing, and there can't be too many bullets. You saw earlier when there was only a single line of bullets, even though it was being shot from two things at once. Heavy had no problem managing it, but... Let's just use this berserk now. Should I? So a lot of people use Glide to get rid of these missile things right here. I never find that to work for me though, because Glide always ends up focusing on the ship when it shouldn't, so it doesn't actually hit these things like it should. Crap! Damn! Can I just like kill this thing first? No. Okay. As you can also see, you can Glide to dodge some of these things, which helps too. Did we just die now before this thing reaches me? Thank you, my god. I'm gonna have lots of run-throughs, I'm sure, where I'm not satisfied with how I perform in the level, even though I probably get a good rank. So, I suppose you're gonna have to get used to that. But well, how do we do? At least an A, I'm hoping. Yeah, an A. Hits taken 6. Urgh. Whatever, though. Oh well, I never get a good rank on score, though, because for some reason, my tactics tend not to get you a bunch of points. I don't use base wing as much as I should, or at least not on hard, because using base wing is not often a good idea on hard, because it doesn't do enough damage. You'd use heavy for most things if you're playing on hard, I find. So well. Also, that's the end of this episode, but first we have plot things. Barefoot. And who might you be? Hello. Not much to say. Reach. Well, bye. So you're a thing. Well, that's really vague, generic, uninspired. Your special garble, but why not? What else do we have to do? Also, so that's probably the end of this episode, bye. Sorry. Oh wait, no, never mind. Each episode's probably gonna get cut off kind of abruptly though, because I'm gonna end off each episode after the cutscene after the level. Just in advance. This is also the cradle, right here. Might as well point out. Cradle's that big thing with a rip in it.
Edo Pascano Weir. Corvis Intas Carsa. Idonimus Daluca. Elemia Integro. Tunves Nodu Communitium Gustas Weir.
Actually, I was wrong. I'm gonna have something to show off at the end of each episode, actually. So, one moment. So, you might have noticed, when I was on the main menu, there's this thing called Pandora's box. Well, that is a thing. It has lots of cool stuff in it. But, in particular, there's one thing I want to show you that's kind of major, is the game's encyclopedia, which explains a lot of things that this game doesn't tell you through exposition, because it doesn't really have exposition. So, I will let you see things throughout this particular encyclopedia after the end of each episode. I'll have to decide on my own time what is and isn't suitable for viewing at particular points in the plot, but have fun looking at it, because it'll probably clear up some questions you have, or at least give you a better idea of what's going on. I'll also just point out, what I'll do is I'll just show off the text for a second, then flip through it again, and that'll be it for each little article. Just so if you guys want to watch it, you can pause and read through it, and otherwise you don't have to bother with it.